So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. The idea behind this lecture series is very simple. We want you to cover your current affairs and we want you to revise them regularly because current affairs form a very important portion of your prelims examination. Around 40 to 50% of the MCQs asked in prelims examination are directly or indirectly related to current affairs. And what better way to revise and prepare for your current affairs than by getting the much needed MCQ practice from them? Because this MCQ practice would come in really handy for your prelims examination. Now, if you are regular and fairly consistent with this lecture series, well, 4 to 5 MCQs covered on a daily basis would add up to more than 1200 MCQs. Okay, so needless to say this, but make this lecture series a part of your daily routine, and if you do so, then you wouldn't have to worry about your current affairs portion while appearing for your prelims examination. Alright, enough of the introduction. Let's straight away jump into the lecture, starting with question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding Abel Prize. It is a prize which is considered an equivalent of Nobel for mathematics, named after Norwegian mathematician Niels Henrik Abel. Okay. The prize is administered by Swedish Academy of Sciences, and the recipients are chosen by an expert committee. Only one Indian has been awarded this prize so far. Okay. Now, look, Abel Prize is also known as Nobel Prize for Mathematics because mathematics is not the field in which Nobel Prize is awarded. That's why mathematicians all over the world created their own prestigious prize. Okay, because Nobel Prize is not awarded for mathematics. That is why we have this Abel Prize. Okay, now it was instituted in 2003, so the first prize was given in 2003, and the tradition has continued ever since. Now, this prize, which is considered equivalent of Nobel for mathematics, is named after Norwegian mathematician Niels Henrik Abel. This part is absolutely correct. Now, this prize was instituted by Norwegian Parliament. Okay? In 2002. And from 2003 onwards, this prize has been given on an annual basis. Now, this prize is administered by not Swedish Academy, but Norwegian Academy of Sciences and Letters. Okay, so not Swedish Academy, Norwegian Academy of Sciences and Letters. And the recipients of this award are chosen by an expert committee, which is appointed by Norwegian Academy of Sciences and Letters. Okay, so Norwegian Academy of Sciences and Letters appoints an expert committee. The members of this expert committee choose the winner of this prize. Okay, now the members of this expert committee are chosen on the basis of recommendations made by International Mathematics Union, and European Mathematics Society. Okay, so this part is correct. False, because it's not Swedish, it's Norwegian. Now, so far, only one Indian has been awarded this prize, Srinivasa Vardhan. He's from Madras but currently works in USA. Okay, so only one Indian has been awarded this prize so far. So this part is correct. Only two statements are correct. The answer is B. Question 2. Which of the following statements are correct regarding Sarhul cultural festival? It is a festival celebrated by scheduled tribes of the Northeast that involves worship of Saltree. It is a 3-day-long festival that involves consumption of handia, rice beer, community feast, and offering of sal flowers to the village deity. The festival welcomes the spring season and the tribal new year. Alright. Now look, Sarhul Cultural Festival is a cultural festival celebrated by Adivasi community of Jharkhand. Okay, Adivasi community of Chota Nagpur Plateau or Chota Nagpur region. Okay, this includes tribes like Oraons, not Bhils, Oraons, Munda, Santhal. Okay, all these. So these are the tribal regions of Jharkhand. Okay, Jharkhand and the neighboring regions of Chota Nagpur Plateau. It's not celebrated by northeastern tribes. Okay, but yes, this festival involves the nature worship of Saltree. So this part is correct, but it's not northeast. It's Adivasi tribes or tribes of central India, Chota Nagpur Plateau. So this part is false. Now, it is a 3-day long festival that involves consumption of handia, which is local rice beer, community feast, and offering of sal flowers to the village deity. Okay, that is also correct. The festival welcomes the spring season and tribal new year. This part is also correct. This basically is a new year festival for these Adivasi tribes and also welcomes the spring season. Okay, remember this, it is not Northeastern festival, it is the festival of Chota Nagpur Plateau region, the Adivasi forest dwelling Adivasi communities of Chota Nagpur Plateau region. So 2 and 3, B. Question 3. Consider the following statements regarding deep sea mining. Clarion-Clipperton zone of Pacific Ocean is one of the richest source of deep sea mineral deposits. Deep sea minerals are generally found near hydrothermal vents and seamounts. Polymetallic nodules found on the seabed are rich sources of oil and natural gas. Deep sea mining in territorial waters is regulated by International Seabed Authority. Okay, so what is deep sea mining? Basically, deep sea mining is going into the deep sea, close to the ocean bed, and mining for minerals. Okay, now the entire seabed of the world's oceans are not rich in minerals. There are a few areas in the deep oceans which are rich in minerals. Within the Pacific Ocean, there is this specific zone known as the Clarion-Clipperton zone, which is famous for having rich deposits of minerals. Minerals like nickel, cobalt, sulfide, and many other metallic minerals. Okay, so Clarion-Clipperton zone of Pacific Ocean is one of the richest sources of deep sea minerals. Absolutely correct. Now, generally, these minerals are found in hydrothermal vents and seamounts. Now, hydrothermal vents and seamounts are those areas where undersea volcanic activity is there. And because of undersea volcanic activity is there or was there at some point in history. Okay. Now, volcanoes bring in a lot of metallic minerals from deep inside the earth to the surface of earth. That is why areas where volcanic activity has been there in the past or is still continuing are rich in minerals. Okay, that is why hydrothermal vents and seamounts have deep sea minerals. This is also correct. Now, on the deep sea bed, you find these nodules, okay, pieces of rock called polymetallic nodules. As the name suggests, the name metallic is mentioned here. So, polymetallic nodules are rich in metallic minerals, right? Metallic minerals, they can be ferrous minerals like iron, okay? They can be non-ferrous minerals like nickel, cobalt, manganese, all these things, okay? Now, manganese is a ferrous mineral. So, polymetallic nodules found in the seabed are rich sources of oil and natural gas? No, rich sources of metallic minerals. Oil and natural gas are non-metallic minerals. So, this part is false. Now, deep sea mining in territorial waters is regulated by International Seabed Authority. Now, the thing is, International Seabed Authority regulates deep sea mining in international waters. International waters are those areas of the oceans which are not controlled by any particular country. So, no country has sovereign control over these international waters. Okay, clear? So, International Seabed Authority manages or creates rules for deep sea mining in these areas, not territorial waters, because territorial waters come under the control of a particular country, and those countries will have their own laws for deep sea mining, right? So, had it been written international waters over here, this statement would have been correct, but this is false. So, only 1 and 2 are correct. The answer is C. And last, which of the following statements are correct regarding transfer of High Court judges? The Constitution empowers Supreme Court to transfer judges from one High Court to another. Transferring and receiving High Court Chief Justices are consulted before these transfers. The transfer order is final when it is published in the official gazette by the Department of Justice. Okay. Now, when it comes to the transfer of judges of High Court, well, our Constitution has some provisions related to that. Article 222 Clause 1 states that the transfer of High Court judges shall be undertaken by the President. Okay, President of India. But the President of India shall consult Chief Justice of India, of the Supreme Court. Okay. Now, after various decisions by the Supreme Court, well, this opinion given by Chief Justice of India to the President is binding on the President. So essentially, Chief Justice of India decides which High Court judge will go where. Okay. Now, the thing is that Supreme Court has also made it clear that it's not the opinion of Chief Justice of India alone. Chief Justice of India plus 4 senior most judges of Supreme Court shall give this opinion, and this opinion shall be binding. Now, this group of 4 senior most judges and Chief Justice of India is known as the Collegium. Okay. Now, whatever recommendation is given by the Collegium to the President has to follow that. All right. So, technically, Constitution empowers the President, but the opinion of Chief Justice of India and the Collegium is binding. So, technically, it's the President who is making these transfer orders, but essentially, de facto, Collegium is making these orders. Okay, so Constitution empowers President, technically speaking, not Supreme Court. Though essentially Supreme Court's Collegium has all the powers. This statement is false. Clear? Now, whenever the Collegium is deciding upon these transfer recommendations, they also consult the transferring and receiving High Court Chief Justice. So, for example, a judge has to be transferred from Delhi High Court to Allahabad High Court. Right? So, the Collegium will consult the Chief Justice of Delhi High Court and Allahabad High Court both before making their recommendation. So, this part is correct. Now, whenever Collegium makes these recommendations, the recommendations are given to the Law Ministry. Okay? The Law Ministry, after scrutinizing these recommendations, forwards it to the Prime Minister. Okay? And Prime Minister then gives it to the President. The President finalizes that order, and then Department of Justice publishes that order in the official gazette. And once it is published in the official gazette, well, then the transfer order is final. So transfer order is final when it is published in the official gazette by Department of Justice. Absolutely correct. So 2 and 3 are correct. The answer is B. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I'm sure it has added value to your preparation. But it would add more value if you revise this lecture as well. And by revision, I mean taking a look at the written detailed solutions to each and every MCQ discussed above. It would hardly take 5 to 10 minutes, but this part is important. Now, you can find these solutions in the notes provided by us along with this lecture, and these notes shall be shared on our Telegram channel. The link to our Telegram channel is provided in the comment section below this video. You just have to click on that link. It will take you to our Telegram channel, and from there you can download the notes for this lecture and do the necessary revision. Okay, and on that note, I'll be signing off with the promise of seeing you again with another set of MCQs. Stay tuned, everyone. Thank you.